morning guys, Colby from Muffler Tech. Hey, today's video is going to be on a 991 stainless GT3 muffler conversion on my 73 track rat here behind us. So in a moment here, I'm going to do a cold start, let you listen to it when it's just getting fired up in the morning, and then the rest of the video is going to cover what it's like to live with this muffler on an early air-cooled 911. Before we get too far along with impressions and what this car sounds like inside, let's just talk really quickly about what it is. So this car is a 1973 T that at some time many years ago was converted to an RSR clone. And what is needed to be understood by all of my viewers here is that the inside of this car is very track car, race car type stuff. No carpet. It does have a half cage in it now that used to have a full cage at one time. You can actually see right here where I had to cut out the mounts for the front part of the cage here. I've now made this car one of my street cars. It's just kind of a fun vehicle to drive around and enjoy. But again, please keep in mind when you're listening to interior tones and sounds exactly what we're dealing with here. The Powerplan is just a bone stock 3-liter SC, and to further kind of show you how much sound deadening is not in this car, you can see there's no insulation pad there above the engine. But stock heater boxes, stock 3-liter engine, and we are using a stainless steel GT3 donor muffler from a 991, and we put the pipes into the louder or the lower inlets on the muffler. All right, so here's a view underneath. Here you can see we're running the stock heater boxes, and the modification we made is right here. So these right here used to be longer and swing in narrow to the two bolt flange that used to enter the banana muffler here. So we cut the header short, added a V-band, and we actually used a portion of the header, the mandrel bent part of the header that used to come to the 2-bolt flange. We cut it, turned it around, we had to add a section of stainless here. And then you can see where we upped it here to a 2.5-inch pipe where it comes around and goes into the lower part of the muffler, which is the loud side of the muffler, or the loud inlet. Up top there you can see the quiet side inlet, which we're not using. We built a stainless steel cap there to shut those off. Now the tips we made here in-house, I wasn't satisfied with anything that came on the late model cars. It just didn't look right on a car this early. So we just took some 2.5-inch stainless, pumped it up a little bit larger to give it a bigger look, and we plasma cut that flange on the back side there to bolt directly to the muffler. You can put any of the GT3 tips on. It's just a matter of what look you're going for and how big you want to make your cutout right here in the bumper. All right, here we go. This is driving a 73 911 with the 991 muffler conversion. Give you guys an idea what this thing sounds like going down the road. So I have my window down, and I may need to roll it up because I have to forgive the track pads. As mentioned, this is a track rat. Haven't completely converted it back to street use yet. but I don't want to have it too loud, but I want to make sure I can hear it. The problem is we don't know what that is to that person, so sound is subjective. Please keep that in mind when you're listening to this video and any other exhaust videos for demonstration purposes. But again, coming back to it, sitting here, we're at idle now, just under, well, right around 1,000 RPM, 900 RPM, and you can hear it, but it's not crazy. I have a 911 race car that, quite honestly, there's no possible way I could do a video with you in this format. We'd have to have a microphone, and I'd be wearing earplugs. But I would say this is very tolerable. And speaking to that, most people that are going to do this conversion or consider doing this conversion are probably going to be doing it on more of a street car, if not 100% a street car. And that being said, that makes the interior resonance quite a bit less, because you're going to have sound ending and carpet and other things like that. Okay, now I'm going to show you, I've got my window up, so all the windows are up now, and I'm going to show you what it sounds like inside the car at full red line shift. So I'll stop talking so you can hear it. Currently sitting at 3,500 RPM in second gear. Alright, so that was second gear to 6 grand, third gear to 6 grand, and then a shift into fourth. Speed. We won't talk about what sort of speeds we entered into there, but you get the gist of it. It's not quiet by any means, but it's not crazy in here. Even at full throttle, I just took an employee of mine for a ride in the car, and we were having a conversation in the car, and that was with the window down. So it's very tolerable. Keep in mind too that with these mufflers, we have a choice of which inlet to use. The inlet we're using, as I mentioned earlier, is the louder of the two inlets, which is the bottom or larger inlet, which is more of a straight shot into the tips. And the sound waves still are allowed to enter into the parts of the muffler that help cancel out sound, but it's a much straighter shot into that center outlet. So the last thing to cover is the performance. And I will tell you that my butt dyno says this muffler performs much better than the banana muffler or the stock muffler that was on this vehicle before. Now, to be fair, that muffler was modified. It did have the two holes cut in it on either side to come straight out in that RSR look. So it was arguably flowing a little better than a stock one. But the difference between the car now versus before, with that quieter stock RSR modded stock muffler, car's much snappier. Obviously it's a lot louder, but snappier, wants to accelerate a little bit more, definitely stronger. It's definitely getting through the RPM range quite a bit faster, and honestly, the car's so much more fun to drive. Before, I did have some exhaust leaks at the two bolt flanges that were going into it, which contributed to not a great sound, but man, this car sounds so good now. It makes me want to drive it all the time, and since I've done this modification, I've been driving this car quite a bit more often than some of my others. So take it from me, if you don't mind a little bit of an aggressive tone coming out of your cooled 911, this is a must-do modification. Well, there you have it, guys. That is my video that shows the modification that we do. We're using a GT3 muffler on an air-cooled car. The other thing to keep in mind too is that if you're driving a more modern version of the air-cooled 911, you're going to have catalytic converters more than likely, which will also help make this thing quieter. So do me a favor, if you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe. I would like to do more of these outside of what I've been doing so much in Prius video in performance exhaust, and if I get enough interest, I'll keep feeding my channel here with new stuff like this. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.